sigues ahí, no sé por qué. No estás obligada a estar con él.
I think it's so cool that just in a couple of seconds, there's so many different things that a dancer is doing that they're mindful of to make this movement as beautiful as possible and feels as good as possible. And the point is, it's not to get them all at once if you're still learning, it's to get them one by one. It's to work on them one by one. This video is just to help you be aware of what's happening so that you can start to practice it on your own. So there are 3 concepts that I want to talk for the leaders. 1, opposite preparation. 2, counterbalancing. And 3, using gravity to do your job for you. And 3 things for the followers as well. Number 1 is gradual release. Number 2 is finishing a movement properly. And number 3 is how to be light. So let's talk about the leaders first. Okay, now you know that he's going to go back and forth. That's the opposite preparation. Now, he's going to go forward because he's going to lean back. Let's see. 1, this is him going forward. On 2, he's going to start going back. 2, 3, 4. And 4, just before this, you see that he rises up because he's going to let her go down. But at the same time, what you can see here, he's tilting a little bit, like he's starting her body roll for her. So by pressing her close to him, and then if you see like his hands, he's going to release, and this is what the follower needs to do. They need to see, this is the tilt. This is like starting the body roll already, and the follower needs to finish it. And this is also the point for the leaders and also for the followers. If, as you can see, they are both separated, and this is what's called counterbalancing. There's 2 ways of doing this. Like, 1 is counterbalancing, and 1 is to do the body movement together with the follower. You would do, it's for different purposes. If you lead with your own body, then you still get close and you can lead into something else. For example, a dip. In this case, he's not leading into anything else. He's just counterbalancing, so he's staying behind, and this is using gravity to do your job for you. So what you're doing is you're just counterbalancing for the both of you, and you're just letting gravity do the work by releasing. Let's look at that one more time. So at this point, he's tilting, and that's his job. On 5, that's his only job. His only job is to tilt, and then she will do the rest. And what he's doing a little bit, you don't really have to. Like, experienced followers will know how to do this, but he's guiding her with his hands, so he's kind of releasing it gradually. But a follower should know how to do this, and this is my point as well. Followers, at this point, you know that he started a body roll already because of this tilt. Because the tilt, you go from your chest and then down, and he's already done the chest for you. And so now it's time to gradually, and so if you see this, don't just fall flat, but do a body roll, meaning release it one by one. So your chest, your rib cage, your belly, your hip, all the way, and this is the second point for the followers, until seated. Like, your weight should be on your hip at this point. And that's crucial, because unless he stops you or unless he redirects you, you need to finish it until the seated position where your weight is on your hip. And this is important because if he wants to do a reverse and your weight's not properly in your hip, it's going to be hard. He's not doing a reverse now, but let's see the next count. So here's a very similar thing. It's a body roll, and here it's if you can see, he has his hands on her hip, sort of, just above her hip, but he's about to lead a reverse. And if your weight is not completely on your hip, and in this case, her weight is completely on her hip there, so it's easy to initiate a reverse, just like that. If you don't have your weight there, and he tries to do a reverse, it's just gonna be like a nudge, like you're just gonna like shift to the other side. But if you have your weight here, you can easily do a reverse. So that's the importance of finishing the movement. When she's doing a reverse body roll, of course, because he is also shifting to the right, so this is all, like, let me just talk about this quickly for the leaders. His weight is now on his left, and when he finishes, he shifted to the right, not just because of musicality, but to help her in reversing. But this is mostly the follower's job to reverse. Once you know, followers, once you know that this is a reverse, once he initiates it, the power comes from the ground. So it comes from your right leg pushing into the ground, and then following the motion with your entire body, and then he leads like a head roll as well. But the most important thing, and this is to make you more light and makes it easier for the leader to lead, is using the ground to your advantage, pushing down so that you can go up. So at this point, she's all the way on her right, and then she pushes, and then she starts with the hip, and then the rib cage, and then the head, and then finish. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and this has been very, very late, but I thank you for your patience. My computer was broken and I had to replace the motherboard, which is the most important part of the computer. But it's back now, and like I'm going to do this more frequently. I'm just gonna catch up with what I've missed, so keep an eye out. Over the next few days I'm gonna be releasing a couple of videos. And yeah, see you in the next one. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and that helps really, you know, like a lot, because this is still a small channel. And I will see you in the next one.